So till now 5 participants. I will start sharing my screen. We should wait for 2 minutes. Then we will start with the class. If you have any queries, any doubt, you can ask those who have joined the class. And how's your studies going on for remaining subjects? You had 2 to 3 class? It's very less strength today. Four students have joined till now. See, always you have to use the ID which I have given to you. I will not share new ID. Just near about your class timings, we will start the class. Your friends are joining. We will just revise the contents, what we have studied, so that other students will join. They won't miss anything. Do you think students will join today? Because yesterday we had a very good strength in the class. Should we wait or we should start? We have started with Z transforms, which are the basic transform domain for digital systems. To analyze LTI systems, we have to find Z transform of the given signal. So Z transform definition we all know. We know the formula of Z transforms. This is the generalized formula of Z transform. This is a geometrical representation where the Z transform Z plane is created by real and imaginary axis, and a Z plane unit circle is drawn on this Z plane, and this is drawn with reference to Z is equal to R e to the power j omega. Pole zero plot, poles and zeros are plotted within the unit circle of Z plane. We have simplified few examples: basic unit step, unit impulse. Then we started with region of convergence ROC, whose definition we have studied, and how to find ROC we have studied yesterday. Yes, students, more students will join or not, because only 5 students are there right now. Your friends are not joining today? Because today we will wind up this Z transforms. In next class we will start with next topics. So region of convergence, it could be whole Z plane, interior of unit circle, exterior of unit circle, or it could be annual ring. So different types of ROC can be plotted. Then we have simplified this example. Then I have given you one homework. Have you completed that? Have you tried simplifying that? We have seen left-handed side sequence, right-sided sequence. It's ROC, it's Z transform we have found out. I have given you this numerical. Have you tried to simplify this? Okay, very good. So what you got? Answer. Have you simplified this? See, now what we will do, we have to remember what is the Z transform of unit step function, delayed function, and directly we can write its Z transform. Otherwise, what will happen? If you will remember small formulas of this input signals, then you can directly write it in your exams. Likewise, here we have directly written. We don't need to find Z transform of every signal for the basic signals. So here corresponding Z transform x of n minus b to the power n u of n plus b to the power minus n u of minus n minus 1. U of n for n greater than 0, for n less than 0, it is u of minus n minus 1. Whole signal is generated, we will find out its Z transform. So x of z is equals to unit step function Z transform is 1 upon 1 minus bz inverse plus this shifted unit step is minus 1 b inverse z inverse, and we got the limit of z as b and less than b inverse. This is the limit. Now we can plot the ROC. We can see first I will plot real axis, imaginary axis, unit circle. Then b less than 1 upon b, greater than that unit circle. So ROC exists between b to 1 by b. This is my region of convergence. So are you writing in your copy? Should I wait or I should continue? 6 participants. Who join now? Shubham. So is it okay? This is the Z transform. You should remember the basic formulas. I have prepared a table for you, so you can remember that table also. So now characteristics families of signals with their corresponding ROC. Basic things we should know where ROC can exist by looking towards the signal. If I am analyzing the signal, then my mind should click key what could be its ROC. Exact ROC you can't find out directly, but at least we will get the idea whether it is a whole Z plane, whether it is except Z equals to 0, whether it is except Z equal to infinity, or It lies within the unit circle, outside the unit circle, or it is a annular ring. So this table shows you that if I am having a causal system we all know, we know anti-causal system, we know two-sided signals. Okay, so for causal system with finite duration signals, is it visible properly to you? Is it visible to you? Okay. So causal system, that means when signals doesn't exist for n less than 0. Okay, for n equals to 0 till the duration your signal exists. In this we are considering about finite duration signals. The signal is having limit, any limit, but it is not infinite. N is equal to 10, n is equal to 20, n is equal to 100. Number of signals are there, but it is of finite duration. We know the duration. So for those type of signal, ROC is entire Z plane except Z equals to 0. Except this point, ROC exists for whole signal. For anti-causal signals, finite duration signals, it is the entire Z plane except Z equals to infinity. Causal system के लिए except Z equal to 0, anti-causal system except Z is equal to infinity. For two-sided signals with finite duration, what will happen? It is a combination of both the system, causal and anti-causal. So it will have limit the entire Z plane except Z equals to 0 and Z equals to infinity. ROC will not exist. Clear this? Now, infinite duration signal. Amisha has joined right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other students still wants to join? Because very important concept I am teaching you today. So for infinite duration signal, always remember for infinite duration signal, the Z transform, the ROC of that Z transform will converge outside the circle, inside the circle, or it will be an annular ring. So for causal system, the first case, for causal system, the ROC exists outside the unit circle, whole Z plane except the unit circle. Clear? That means exterior to the unit circle. Anti-causal system, that means this is my, see this example we have simplified for right-handed signal and left-handed signals. For left-handed signals, ROC exists interior to the circle. For two-sided signals, for infinite duration, we get an angular ring with radius of both R1 and R2. Mod Z is in between R1 and R2. Is it clear? Anything you want to ask? Next, properties of ROC. In exam, you can get a theory question. Properties of ROC. So there are many properties of ROC, and that totally depends on how is your sequence, how is your input signal x of n. So the Fourier transform of x of n is converged absolutely if the ROC includes the unit circle. Fourier transform, okay, not Z, not Laplace. This Fourier transform of x of n converges absolutely if the ROC includes the unit circle. You can have Fourier transform of signal also. ROC cannot include any poles. Do remember, ROC does not include any poles because poles exist at infinity. It moves towards infinity. So, ROC of Z transform of discrete time signal does not contain any poles. This property results from the fact that at poles, Z transform x of Z is infinite and therefore x of Z does not converge because here x of z does not converge, so ROC, region of convergence, cannot include any poles. Finite duration sequence, we have seen the entire z plane. Right-sided sequence, ROC extends outward from the outermost finite pole. Left-handed sequence, we have seen two-sided sequence, annular ring was formed. So these are the properties of Z transform. Now, ROC, sorry, and now the properties of Z transform. Same properties lies for Z transforms, for your linear systems, because basics will not change. Okay, one more student is waiting. Sakshi, you joined? So properties of Z transform, linearity, we all know. Linearity, ax of n plus by of n gives you ax of z plus by of z. What do you mean by this arrow? This shows you the transformation from n domain to z domain. You are converting it from time domain to frequency domain. So ax of n plus by of n, it is transformed, and if it is having x of z multiplied by a, this constant, y of z multiplied by this constant, then it is a linear. Whatever changes is there in the input, that should be changed at the output. So this is my linear property. Time shifting, we all know. Time delay, see, like some students have joined a time shifting का सबसे अच्छा example क्या है? Few students join on time, they will leave on time. That is time shifting. But few students are joining right now, also they are asking to admit in the class. But what they will do, they will leave the class with the person who have joined earlier also. Before 10 minutes, before 15 minutes, few students joined. Right now, few students are joining my class, and they will leave on the same time. That delay is not introduced at the output side while leaving the class. So that is my time varying property, time shifting property, and that will be time invariant system. Those who have joined right now, those will be time invariant systems. So time shifting, x of n minus n0. So we can find Z transform of those signals also. So Z to the power minus n0 x of z. So you should remember, any signal time shifted, output will be again time shifted in Z domain. So Z to the power minus n0 and x of z you have to find. Domain differentiation, you can differentiate the input signal and x of n. Differentiation will be this, minus z will be multiplied d by dz x of z. Scaling property means multiplying anything at the input will reflect your output. Scaling, so a to the power n x of n, output will be x z to the power z by a. Time reversal, x of a minus n, it will reverse in the z domain 1 by z. Convolution, very important property. We all know what is convolution. Multiplication of two signals, and where multiplication is required in DSP processor, whenever in communication system I want to send my signal, input signal x of n, it has to be processed by using DSP processor. So it will apply some kind of transfer function to it. H of z will be my that transfer function, h of n, small h of n will be my transfer function. So what I will do, input multiplied by transfer function will give you output y of n. So convolution in time domain and multiplication, direct multiplication in frequency domain. You can see the difference. We are convolving the signal at the input side, h of n into x of n. This is the convolution side. And if I am having directly Z transforms, I am having directly, and I want to convolve those two signals. So what I will do, I will directly multiply these signals. But if I am having signals in time domain, then I have to apply the procedure of convolution of two signals. Is it clear? Where h of z is the transfer function. Now, rational Z transforms. For most practical signals, the Z transform can be expressed as a ratio of two polynomials. We can see this is a very basic numerator upon denominator. So what it shows, it is showing number of zeros and number of poles. Z1, Z2 are the zeros of x of z, roots of numerator polynomial, and P1, P2, Pn are the poles of x of z, that is the root of denominator. Clear? Now commonly used Z transform pairs. So you can prepare its table in your copy to remember the basics. Write down this. Finished? Writing important points. Del of n, Z transform 1, U of n, 1 upon 1 minus Z inverse, alpha to the power n, U of n, 1 upon 1 minus alpha Z inverse, n, alpha n, the property has changed, n plus 1, alpha n, U of n. See, why we should remember this, because in exam you won't be getting the simple Z transforms, the simple inputs. You will get a combination of this input. So if you remember this directly, you can directly write in the answer that Z transform of this signal is this. So you can write all the things directly. And basic ROCs you should know. Finish writing. Should we move ahead? Okay. See now stability, causality, many parameters are there to define Z transforms. So what do we mean by stability of a signal? We all know S domain, S is equal to sigma plus j omega. And stability, have you studied this BIBO stability, bounded input, bounded output stability? That we will discuss over here. S is equal to sigma plus j omega. Stable systems. For S plane, stable system is plotted with respect to sigma plus j omega. All the left hand side signals are stable. Right hand side signals are unstable. So this is the mapping between this I have discussed earlier also. Now it will be clear to you. Mapping of S plane and Z plane. So mapping of poles on the j omega axis of the S domain to the Z domain. This is my Z domain, real and imaginary. All the points are marked. From this, our circle starts. Omega equals to 0, pi by 4, pi by 2, and 3 pi by 4. So whole circle 360-degree maps to a unit circle and represents marginally stable terms. So how my system is stable now? In S plane, it is stable if it is left hand side. And when my signal is stable in Z domain, can anybody answer? Within the circle or outside the circle, the system is stable. Maybe within the circle, okay. So mapping of poles in the LHS of the S plane to the Z plane. We all know this system map to inside the unit circle and represents the stable terms. The system is stable. So if my poles and zeros of Z transforms are within the unit circle, then the system is stable. Mapping of poles in the RHS of the S plane to the Z plane. Discrete system stability testing. Steps. Find the pole position of the Z transform. Poles क्या होते हैं? जो डिनोमिनेटर में सारी टर्म्स होती है उसके हम फैक्टर्स फाइंड करते हैं. Those factors generate some values that defines the poles of the system. If any pole is in, on or outside the unit circle, the system is unstable. Outside the unit circle, if that pole exists, then it is unstable. In this way, you can define stability and unstability. Pole location and time domain behavior of causal signals. So in this diagram, you can see it very easily. Z plane. This is which type of signal is this? And where will be the ROC of this signal? This is a finite duration or infinite duration signal? Please answer. First signal. How many students are attentive in the class? Infinite. Very good. So the ROC will exist. All are attentive now. It's good. Okay. So ROC will exist for this. This is my Z plane. So if the ROC exists, if the system is causal, this is an example of causal systems. You understand now what do we mean by causal signals? All are causal signals. We have seen the property of causality and how ROC exists for those signals, and if we can define also stability also. If the pole exists, this is my pole and this is my zero. If it is plotted, this is one pole exists between the unit circle, then the system is stable. And here we are showing behavior of causal signals on Z plane. Behavior of causal signal on Z plane. This signal we are having upside down, both signals are there. So pole of this signal exists here. This is again a stable signal. All these are causal signals only. This is my, which type of system will be this? 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth signal, where the pole exists outside unit circle. Here also the pole exists outside unit circle. but all the systems are causal systems. It is not, we can't say that a stable system is a causal system. You can see in the examples. All causal systems are stable? No. So this shows you the behavior of causal signals and pole location and time domain behavior of causal signals. Now stable and causal systems. Causal systems, ROC extends outward from the outermost pole. ROC extends outward from the outermost pole. If the system is causal, it means that poles will lie within the circle. These are the poles lying within the circle or on the circle for causal system. Now for stable system, ROC includes the unit circle. Stable system, ROC includes the unit circle. That means wherever we are defining the region of convergence, it should include ROC. It should include the unit circle for stable. A stable system requires that its Fourier transform is uniformly convergent. See, student, write down one example. I will dictate you. Write down in your copy and find out Z transform. Who left in between the class? Write down x of n numerical. X of n cos omega 0 cos omega 0 n into u of n. This is the first numerical, u of n. Then second numerical, got how you have to write omega 0 is in the suffix. Sin omega 0 n u of n, second numerical. And plot ROC. For both numerical, plot ROC. This is the question. Next question, write down. X of n is equals to a to the power n u of n plus b to the power n u of, in bracket, minus n minus 1. It is just like, see, first signal is this, x of n is equal to a to the power n u of n plus, you have to write b to the power n u of this signal, u of minus n minus 1. Is it clear? सबने लिख लिया? Okay. Same thing, you have to plot the ROC of the signal. Clear? See, inverse Z transform is also there. There are three basic methods to perform inverse Z transform. Have you studied inverse Z transform in your class? In your previous class? Was there in your syllabus? Inverse Z transforms. Three methods are there. Do you know? Do you know the names? Long division method, partial fraction expansion method, residue method. So if you can simplify any of those, any one method you can simplify the inverse Z transform. Every system will have its inverse system. And we have seen the definition of inverse Z transforms. So do you know this? So I will give you directly one numerical to simplify. Write down one numerical for inverse Z transform. What do you mean by inverse Z transform? क्या given होगा तुम्हें? Output response will be given to you. You have to find input sequence of that. So write down question. A system has impulse response. A system has impulse response. H of n is equal to, जैसे लिखोगे इसको, हमेशा small h of n जब भी कहा जाएगा you have to write small one. H of n is equal to brackets 1, 2, 3. Again a bracket. H of n is given to you. Okay, in this way you have to write H of n. And output response y of n is equals to, write down 1, 1, 2, -1, 3. So there are 5 values of y of n. Determine the input sequence. Determine the input sequence x of n. Got the question? क्या given है? A system has impulse response h of n 1, 2, 3 and output response y of n. Determine the input sequence x of n. So how we will simplify? Can anybody tell me? Because next class I will start with linear systems and LTI systems. For those systems, command on Z transform is must. नहीं पता है किसी को भी? Okay, I will tell you the steps. What you will do? First, we have Hn and y of n. What I will do? I will find its Z transform by convolution method. Okay, so for that convolution, to find see here, input and system response is not given. Here output is given to you. So directly you can't multiply yn into Hn. So what I will do here? What is h of z? You know, h of z is my transfer function, which is the ratio of, now the transfer function is ratio of output upon input. What is my output? Output is y of z and input is x of z. So x of z into h of z will give you the output. So that how you will directly convolute these things? It is not possible to convolute. What I will do first, I will find the z transform of h of n and x of n. So what I will get? I will get first h of z. Clear? Then I will find the z transform of y of n. I will get y of z. Okay, clear? Then we all know h of z is equal to y of z upon x of z. और मेरे पास है h of z and y of z. So x of z में कैसे फाइंड करूंगी? x of z कैसे फाइंड करूंगी? x of z will be equal to y of z upon h of z. So I will divide. I will use the partial long division method or partial fraction method expansion. I will divide this thing and I will find out the solution. Is it clear to you? So I will get x of z. X of z. Is it clear? I will divide y of z upon h of z. Then I will get x of z. Now what I have to find, see in the question it is given, determine the input sequence x of n. X of n, not x of z. Impulse input sequence x of n. So again I have to apply inverse z transform. तो inverse z transform का formula apply करना है and we will find the equation. Inverse z transform का formula क्या होता है? x of z is equal to summation n is equal to 0 x of n z to the power minus n. That is my x of z. For x of n, z transform so lastly you have to find x of n by applying inverse z transform, and this will be my answer. So again see, in the question the impulse pulses was given to you 1 2 3 in terms of 1 1. Again you have to find x of n, and the answer I am giving you, just simplify to get this answer. It is 1 comma minus 1 comma 1. This is my answer. Try to simplify it. Now write down one more question. So you are having 3 to 4 days. Again, we will be having class on Tuesday. Today is Thursday. I think today is our last class of this week. So you are having 3-4 days. Try to simplify these numericals. So next question, determine inverse z transform of x of z is equals to, it's a ratio, ठीक है ना, 2 upon 2 minus 3z. See, I can't write inverse, so please you should write 3z inverse z to the power minus 1 plus z to the power minus 2. मैंने उसमें नहीं लिखा है, तुम समझ जाना, इसको रॉन्ग मत लिखना क्वेश्चन को. The question is 2 upon 2 minus 3z to the power minus 1 plus z to the power minus 2. Clear question by long division method. So this, okay, should I repeat? Okay, I will repeat the question. Determine inverse Z transform of x of z is equals to 2 upon 2 minus 3z to the power minus 1 plus z to the power minus 2 by long division method when ROC is mod z greater than 1. When ROC mod z greater than 1. This is the condition कि mod z is greater than 1. So find out that question. This finishes our Z transform topic of your first unit. Next class LTI systems, difference equations we will study over there. So thank you students. We will continue with new topics in next class. Goodbye. 8 students are there today. Pratibha, Sakshi, Avantika, Anisha, Aditi, Charu, who was not there.